Kalalayam Yahweh, Basham Yoshai, Basham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach us this truth. And salutation to the hopeful elect scattered abroad amongst the nations. Some look like the nations. This is Banaya. And this one is too late to apologize.
One monthly payment would be nice.
Did not burn is the most reliable map that you have
So this is
of
fair
what's
use.
worth trying to build,
Fair use.
of
I'm not
what's
making
worth
any
standing
funds
for,
from this. This
especially
is
now,
not my content.
when
I'm
Uncle
only
Sam's
using
lighter is running out of lighter
for
fluid.
criticism and
I'm telling you
scholarship.
that America, your whole system, or I should say that whole system, not your system, it's never been yours, and it's never been for you. That whole system is being undone. That country is being downgraded. And just as the United States of America is withdrawing from the global stage and is becoming a regional power instead of a global hegemon, in that same way, there is a withdrawing or a receding taking place domestically as well. You understand? The government is receding. It's withdrawing from governance. You see, when I use the word contracting, when I said it's a contracting empire, I use that word very deliberately. The social contract was only ever selectively upheld anyway. It was only selectively upheld in the first place, but now it's being nullified altogether. Like I said, I talked about this many times. I know I've talked about this many times, and I've explained this many times. And there are two main reasons why I have ever talked about it. The first is just to let you know what is actually happening in that country and what to expect in that country in the next coming years, in the next few years, in the next few decades. But the second reason is that amidst that contraction that's taking place, amidst that dismantling that's taking place, amidst that withdrawal from from active governance, amidst that decentralization, you have a void opening up in which you can and in which you need to build parallel or even what you can call replacement structures, replacement systems at a community level. I'm telling you that you have the opportunity to do that, but I'm also telling you that if you do not do that, if you do not build parallel power structures and systems, you're going to be extremely vulnerable. So not only can you do it, you really have to do it. You must do it, because there's not going to be anything else. If you don't build something, there's not going to be anything else. You understand me? This is how you're going to make it through the collapse. Look, vote if you want to vote. It doesn't matter. I'm not telling you not to vote. Go ahead if you want to. Go ahead and vote if you want to. But just like how your grandmother did not, in fact, march in order to get the vote, she marched for equal rights, she marched for dignity, right? She marched for representation and the right to have some kind of a say and to secure a better life for herself and for her family. And the vote was supposed to be the mechanism by which she could secure all of that. That's why she wanted the vote, okay? It has turned out after 60 years that the vote is not the mechanism for securing those outcomes. So sure, you can still do it, but you should understand that it has nothing whatsoever to do with securing those types of outcomes. You understand me? You need to pursue those types of outcomes through other methods, if they actually matter to you, if you're serious about that. So like I say, you can still vote, that's fine, but don't misunderstand what you're doing. Don't let yourself fall for the notion that by going to the voting booth, you're doing anything proactive or anything useful that's actually going to help you or help your family, because it isn't. So if you don't let yourself buy into that myth, if you understand that, standing in line at the polling station and ticking that red box or that blue box for that Democrat or that Republican is essentially like standing in line so that you can click the little box on a website to confirm that you're not a robot. You go on Tuesday or you go on election day, whatever election day it happens to be, and you basically tick all the pictures that show a bus or something. That's basically what you do when you go on election day. That's the actual significance of that exercise. You understand me? But I mean, feel free. If you want to do it, do it. Just don't kid yourself about what that process is. And don't think for a second that you're helping yourself, and don't think for a second that you're helping your family by participating in that ritual. And don't fall for the idea, and don't kid yourself into thinking that you're going to be hurting yourself or hurting your family if you don't do it. And listen, just like I talked about at the beginning, when I was talking about those studies in the beginning, the truth of the matter is that this applies to everyone in that country, not just to African Americans. But as I said earlier, the data shows that it's even less useful for African Americans than it is for anyone else. You do not live in a democracy. Understand that. You live in an oligarchy cosplaying as a democracy. It's like that wolf in sheep's clothing, you know, the predator wearing camouflage that looks like his prey. Understand, you have a power structure that actually hates democracy. You have a power structure that opposes democracy, that undermines democracy and overthrows democracies all around the world. America is the enemy of democratic systems, and it always has been. That's a historical record. That's a fact. And calling itself a democracy is nothing but cover. Calling itself a democracy is nothing but camouflage. America calling itself a democracy is a wolf claiming to be a sheep. You understand me? I'm telling you, most Americans, and by most Americans, I mean mostly so-called white Americans, they get upset. They get upset when they see my talks. They get all sorts of negative emotions when I talk about the dismantling of America, the decline of America, the collapse of the United States, and so forth, the downgrading, the demotion of America as a global power. They get sad. They get hopeless. They get depressed, or they get defensive, or they get despondent. And I understand why. I understand why, because it has historically been their system. They got enough benefit from that system to make them actually believe more deeply in the myths around that system. Because of course it was a myth. It's always been a myth. It's never been anything but a myth. But they believed in it. The truth is, they didn't enjoy benefits in that society because of democracy and freedom. They enjoyed benefits in that society because of mass murder. They enjoyed benefits in that society because of pillage, because of slavery and piracy and exploitation, and because of war and brutality. But they always thought that Uncle Sam was on their side, you see? They thought that they were the favorite nephew of their Uncle Sam. So when they see Uncle Sam, or when they hear me talk about Uncle Sam being amputated piece by piece, it grieves them. You understand me? So I understand why the erosion of America, or the erosion of the myth of America, I understand why that bothers them, and why they get all up in arms about it. I understand it. I understand why they get depressed.
All right. In this video, Shahid Boston is saying, these
to give up on your desire to see those values, those so-called American values, implemented. I'm telling you that the weaker America becomes, the more it is dismantled, the more chance you have of being able to actually manifest those values in your communities. But you have to stop seeing the state, you have to stop seeing the power structure, stop seeing the system as being vehicles for the actualization of those values. I mean the values that you've always been taught. The values that you've always been taught and told that America stands for, but that you might actually genuinely believe in. As long as you are looking for the state to apply those values, you're never going to get anywhere. See, just like they did with your grandmother, she wanted equality, she wanted dignity, she wanted to have a voice in that country, she wanted representation, she wanted a better life. And what they gave her was the vote, a vote that is meaningless, a vote that was unimpactful before they ever even gave it to her. It was a sleight of hand they pulled. So you have to recognize that the only way that you're ever going to be able to get anywhere in that country is not by going through the system, or by trying to get the system or trying to get the power structure to give you anything. The only way that you're going to get anywhere is if you can get that system and that power structure off of your back. Get that power structure and get that system out of your community as much as possible, to where you can actually establish your own structures, to where you can actually establish your own structures that operate according to the values that you actually stand for and believe in, and that the power structure has never stood for or believed in. See, just like the global South, just like Africa, the Middle East, Asia, Central and South America, and so forth, they knew a long time ago that the only way that they were ever going to have any kind of a decent life, the only way that they were going to ever have any kind of a chance at prosperity, a chance at security, a chance at societal well-being, was by trying to disconnect as much as possible from America. And the same goes for you. The same goes for you. You need autonomy. And I'm telling you that you are entering a period now in which this is not only going to be possible, it's going to be necessary. Yes, you are entering a period that I think is going to be the great redemption for so-called minority communities in the U.S., particularly for African Americans. And I don't mean redemption in the sense of, you did wrong and you have redeemed yourself, that you've atoned. That's not what I mean. I mean it like the way you redeem a coupon or the way you redeem an IOU, like vindication, like setting things right, like getting what's due, getting yours, getting what's due to you. Yes, you can say a reckoning. You can call it a reckoning. America is facing its reckoning. And there are going to be those who come out badly, and there are going to be those who come out better off. Because there are those who have been wronged, and there are those who have done wrong. And the reckoning is going to be settling all of those accounts, in my opinion. I'm not being hyperbolic. The truth of the matter is, the tables are turning. They're turning globally, and they're turning domestically within the United States. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not going to go easy. It's going to be very chaotic. It's going to be very dangerous. And like I said, there are still going to be segments in that population in America. There's still going to be segments in the population. They're going to try to fight tooth and nail to hold on to that myth. And like I say, that means holding on to the oppressive, violent social order. It means holding on to the racial hierarchical order and so forth. And that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing that now. And no, I'm not just talking about the MAGA types. No, it's not just the MAGA types. The liberals, the Democrats, they're no different from the rest of them. Believe me, they're no different from the rest of them. That's the truth. I know you think they're different. They're not different. Trump is just Joe Biden without the Instagram filter. Red and blue are just two different coats of paint on a single white foundation. Republican and Democrat are just different moods. They're just different personalities of the same power structure, the same myth maintenance system. The myth maintenance system that will employ the most brutal methods without any hesitation whatsoever. Doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican. But like I said before, what's happening in America is the onshoring of previously offshore colonization and extraction. And that's going to be applied across the board to all demographics. The neoliberal economic programs that they used to use to plunder countries all across the global south are now being applied at home, and that's going to intensify, and no one is going to be spared. You need to know that. No one is going to be spared. No one is going to have, protected hands-off status, because this is not being done for the sake of America. It's being done for the sake of a national capital. It's being done for the sake of the national owners and controllers of global financialized capital who have completely untethered themselves from any sort of nationalism. They've untethered themselves from any sort of patriotism or any sense of investment in the old obsolete priorities of the American power structure. Well, who depended on that power structure all this time? What demographic depended on the power structure? Which one relied on the backing of that power structure all this time? Who's been the priority? What demographic group has been the priority of the power structure all this time? Who's always actually had the real protected, the real privileged status in that society? That's going away. Look, when I go through my comment section, who do you think I see? Who do you think I see most often talking about, I have to get out of this country? I'm planning on moving out of this country. Who do you think is melting down? Who do you see having meltdowns on social media, in public, screaming at their phone camera, crying at their phone camera, yelling, weeping, begging for someone to come, for anyone to come and save them, begging for someone to come and fix things, to lead them, to rescue them? Well, you obviously know who it is. You know which people are doing that. It's the same people who never built anything for themselves. It's the same people who never had to build anything for themselves. I'm not saying this as a put down. Understand, I'm not saying this as a put down. It's just another data point. This is what I'm telling you. It's another data point. I'm saying that the way that that country is going, the direction that that country is going, the skill set of the oppressed is going to have a massive advantage over the skill set of the privileged. And like I say, again, this is when you see that hunter-gatherer mentality, that marauder mentality. I have to get out of this country, you see? Let me get my passport and go somewhere else.
So that's on that. Yeah, they oppress us in every way. But now the oppression is reaching them. What they have done to us is being done to them. So Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the forward is an abomination to Yahweh, but the secret is with the righteous. So never choose the way of a evil man. Always stay in the commandments, the laws and the commandments, to the best of your ability. Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how art the oppressor seized, the golden city seized. So this golden city is talking about America, the richest place on the earth. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So he's taken rulership from them. Job 11:20. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. So yes, as you can see, they are looking to bug out. Is that what you call it? Yeah. To go out with a bang, so to speak. They are mad that their country is gone. They thought they would have it forever. (16 and 11). Job. Yahweh hath delivered me to the ungodly, and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck, and shaken me to pieces, and set me up for his mark. So we are still in the captivity that we were put in. The wicked still have us in their traps. Our only hope is Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Job 20:5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mounted to heaven, and his head reaches in the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? So his time is short. He came in the Renaissance, and his time is very short in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. It seemed long to us, but it's short to the Most High. Because 1,000 years to Yahweh Hashem Yoshai is like one day. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So he has covered the face of us as well as Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Understand? (21 and 17). How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them. Yahweh distributes sorrow in his anger. So he's taking wisdom and understanding from them. They are as stubborn before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carried away. So yeah, they're gonna be fire. They're gonna be stubborn, and they're gonna burn, as Obadiah said. But the wind also can carry them away, as this verse is saying. Jump up to Job 38. Job 38. Yeah. And verse 25, I think. No, 15. Yes, Job 38 and 15. And for the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. So their wisdom again has been broken. It has been taken from them. They have no wisdom anymore. Their enchantment ain't working as it used to. Psalm 17 and 13, it's talking about the wicked, which is the sword of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Malachi 1 and 4 is the wicked. Psalms 37. And 14. Let's see. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. So pertaining to Genesis 27 and 38, we know the sword was given to Esau, and we know that Esau is the wicked. And Malachi 1 and 4 also explain more into Esau being the wicked. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call him the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Yasharal. So we give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yoshai, Ba'asham Rakakadash. Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Shalom.